Salutations tout le monde, donc nous sommes maintenant dans le 26e épisode du podcast Le Match Ultime. So today we are in the 26th episode on the season 5 in the podcast Le Match Ultime. Pour l'invité de l'épisode, on va passer maintenant à l'invité de l'épisode. Pour l'invité de l'épisode, c'est un premier qui on reçoit comme épisode en anglais dans la 5e saison, le 3e ever. Donc, c'est un ancien, c'est un gardien de but. Il a fait le training camp avec les joueurs de Minnesota. So, it's Alex Malm. Hi, Alex.
Hello.
How are you?
Great to meet you, Johnny. Thanks for having me on the pod.
Good. Thanks for accepting this invitation, and it's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, so you can present you for the people who.
Oh yeah, here's my elevator pitch. So, I'm a Minnesotan, born and raised. I actually didn't play ice hockey growing up, but my friend across the street did. So in the second grade, my dad moved into a new neighborhood, and just so turned out that my best friend was on the house kitty corner from us. So in the winters, he'd be playing goalie, and in the summers, he'd want to play street hockey with the other kids, Jack and George, down the street. Well, but he'd be sick of playing goalie all winter, so he says, Alex, you got to throw on these pads. So his dad had these really heavy leather leg pads. I think they were Simmons or something. They probably weighed 20 pounds each, soaked to the brim with water because we'd leave them outside. And I'd use a player glove as a blocker and a baseball glove as a catcher. Mm-hmm. No helmet, no chest protector, no cup. So I'd have to really rely on my reaction speed to keep the tennis ball out of the net. But it was just like Wayne's World. That was the best part, because every time a car would drive down the street, someone would yell, "Car!" You'd go pick up the net and move it out of the way. And we'd play until the lights would turn on. Like the street lights would turn on, or our parents would say, "It's time to come in for dinner." And that really just grew my love for the game. Yeah. After that, my dad took me to my first Wild game. It was a corner seat. This was like the 2007-2008 season. Mm-hmm. So this is right when Derek Bugard was a big part of that team. So, like all kids, it made me think, oh, hockey's all about fighting. Yeah, let's see more fights. But it just made me go crazy for the game, which ultimately down the road, it's helped me to progress to where I am today. So yeah, I didn't play all throughout high school, and then in college I was studying cybersecurity to become a cybersecurity major, and it was the year before COVID, but I still realized, like, hey, I'm a lanky nerd. I need to put some pounds on. So I started going to the gym, doing squats, doing bench press, all the basic lifts and stuff. And I was like, I did that for a couple months, and I was seeing some progress. I was like, oh, this is cool. And I was like, I wonder what else I could do. And then something in the back of my mind reminded me, oh yeah, there's roller hockey here in St. Paul. As it turns out, at Charles Schultz Arena in Highland Park, there's a roller hockey league there that's been playing for the last 20 years. Okay. And so they've got a closet full of used goalie gear and rollerblades and stuff. So once I contacted their Facebook page and said, hey, I'm a new goalie. Could I try out for your bronze division? And they said, sure, come on down and give it a shot. So I threw all the gear on. I put the leg pads on the right way. That was a challenge for me, because I remember the first time I actually played ice hockey goalie, I put the leg pads on the wrong legs. But roller hockey, I loved it, but it was so sweat-inducing. It was so hot that it really trained your cardio, because your body had to work that much harder to keep yourself cool. So I went from having really low cardiovascular endurance to building this up, because I learned how to move around with 50 pounds of armor on me on a concrete court. So after a season of that, I said, okay, I actually want to play ice hockey. So I went to Play It Again Sports or Sideline Swap or something like that, found some used pads. I think they were like 2 inches too short. It was a pair of Reebok Premier 4s that were 34+2. and I'm 6'5", so for me, like that's a really short pad. But they worked. It got me through the first couple of seasons.
Okay.
I'm still rambling here. Cut me off if you got any. If you want to direct me in a certain direction, or should I keep going?
You can.
Okay. So, anyways, after that season of roller hockey goalie, I started to progress, and I wanted to try ice hockey. So I found the gear and started practicing. Before I joined the league, there was a little group that my goalie buddy knew. One of his former coaches would play in, and it was just a really unassuming pickup skate with a bunch of older dudes. But that was my first real ice hockey experience. And anyways, so I went from... I had some skills that I developed from playing on roller, so I wasn't like completely lost out there. I knew how to go down and make saves and recover and track the puck. So it was exciting because there were some really good players at that skate, like Manny's old coach TJ, and it got to a point where I realized every week I'm getting a little closer to being better than TJ. And that little spirit of competition really just grew my love for the game, because I told myself I want to be the best skater on the ice every night, and I'm going to work my ass off until I can't anymore, and then I'm going to go to the next level. So I started out doing pickup hockey, and that was 5 years ago. Since then, I've gotten to practice with NHL guys like Jason Zucker, and I think it wasn't the Grayovacs, who was it? I was this old wild player that went from here to Buffalo, but he was at that skate too.
Okay.
Big shout out to my buddy John Chiavo. He's a big roller hockey guy, and he's helped me get a lot of these NHL or D1 level practices. Because one thing I haven't mentioned, I am 6'5", so as a ice hockey goaltender, when you're able to go down into the butterfly position, when you're that tall, you're literally using your shoulders as the means of protecting the top of the net. So it's a very positionally intensive game that you're playing with the shooters. Mm-hmm. And as the speed and the distance, as the speed increases and the distance decreases, the difficulty of making a save is, thus changed. Doesn't mean it's harder to make a save if you can't track a shot, but sometimes I do wish I had that time to see a shot and make a solid glove save.
It's good. I'm going to start for the first question.
Okay.
You starting a goalie 5 years ago. What is your inspiration to beginning a goalie?
Yeah, well, it was probably my best friend Manny. Him being a goalie inspired me to play in those summer games. Also, just getting to watch the Minnesota Wild as a kid. It was pivotal having a hockey team here. So, screw the Dallas Stars for stealing our hockey team, but I'm so glad that we have a hockey team now. It's just, if you're Minnesotan, you got to get the FNG in there, you know, because Norm Green is he's no one's friend around here. No, but not to derail your question there. So Manny and Manny Fernandez was a really fun goalie to watch. I remember him, Harding, Rolston, and Backstrom. Dude, it was peak goaltending years for someone like me, because none of them were like insane goaltenders like Carey Price, but they were all positionally sound, and it really taught me the importance of what that kind of role had. Like the Jacques Lemaire defense from the early 2000s, it was a very defense trap style hockey that no one liked, but it won hockey games because it was tough freaking hockey. So that's my picture of goaltending in hockey, is how I see it as how I grew up.
Good. It's cool with your friend to inspire you, starting at the beginning. You make a training camp with NHL player in Minnesota. How was it to train with the Wild player?
Oh man, it was. I had to get there early so that I could do my normal mental preparations. Otherwise, I would have been like freaking out. But it was at a rink that I absolutely love to play at, New Hope North, in New Hope, Minnesota. It's this beautiful arched wooden barn with this sort of like concrete half bleacher, and it's every time I get to skate there, I'm just super grateful because it's so beautiful. As someone that just got into hockey recently, like that's one thing I appreciate about being born in Minnesota, is how lucky and I am to have all this hockey culture just surrounding me. With all that said, by the time I'd gotten out there, I didn't really know what to expect, because I'd never actually. Well, no, I kind of knew what to expect, because a year prior I went to the Roseville Oval, and this was the day before Christmas, and as I was standing in line, I looked to my left, and it's Matt Dumba, Joel Erikssonek, freaking who else?
Kaprizov?
Their families. No, Kaprizov. This was before Kaprizov was there.
Okay.
Who's that one guy that blanking on? Okay, so it was first person I saw was Dumba, and I was like, "That's Matt Dumba." So I ran to my car, got all my goalie gear, threw it on as fast as I could. By the time I was out there on the rink, there was like 50 kids surrounding these Wild players. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to skate into one of the nets and see what happens. And so they're all just playing like 25 on 25 in the center rink. And it goes for like 10, 15 minutes, and then a couple of the Wild players go to the rink to our right to create a smaller game, and then all the other guys fan out on the middle rink. And so like it's a mix of little kids, high schoolers, Wild players, all taking penalty shots on my net. It was the coolest thing ever. So that was my first time experiencing an NHL shot. They weren't really going 10-10s, because like I asked Matt Dumba, I said, "Matt, will you take a slap shot on me?" He's like, "No, I don't want to kill a kid." And then I go up to Jonas Brodin. I say, Jonas, will you take a slap shot at me? He says, slap shot? Okay. So I go to the net. Before I get set, he tees up, claps one through my 5-hole, and it's just like, oh, okay, that was like an 80-mile-an-hour shot. It was maybe 7 out of 10 power for him, and he just dusted me. So that was my first real experience with NHL talent. There's a bunch of other cool details there. I got to do a shootout with Matt Dumba's mom. That was super cute because she was excited just to like try to practice against the goalie. I remember Victor Rask was there, and I robbed him. I windmilled him. And then in one of the shootouts, Yul Eriksson, he did this really cool, fake out, and then what was the name of that skater that did that? It was a Swedish guy.
Arvidsson?
No, not Arvidsson. He played for the. Do you know that you come in faster on the outside on the goalie, and then you fake like you're gonna shoot it far side on him, and then as the goalie starts to slide to cover that far side post, you drag it back one-handed and tap it around the pad. It's Kopitar did it popularly, but it was named. I'd heard it named after another Swedish player. Is that
Fiala?
No, he's Swiss.
Oh, okay.
Oh gosh, that's good. Fuck me. Anyways, that's seeing like shootout moves in the early 2000s is what really got me interested in goaltending, because I thought that one-on-one battle was so interesting. Like, a lot of guys just see goaltending as the whole 60-minute game, but most hockey players, I feel like, don't actually enjoy when a game goes to a shootout, whereas me, personally, I think a shootout is a great way to decide a game, because 9 times out of 10, I want to win that thing, or I'm going to win that thing. Some of my most, the most satisfying comeback win I've ever had was we were down 7-1 in a Hockey Finder playoff game in the second period. And we came back, scored 6 more, tied it up. Third period, we go to the shootout. Who wins it? Stops them 3 in a row. It's just, there's no better feeling when you can end a game like that, in my opinion. It's very cool. I actually cried from that, like tears of joy. That was the only time that's ever happened to me.
Do you have an NHL player you like it the most in Minnesota when you practice?
Oh, well, are you saying that a player that I've practiced with, or just favorite player in Minnesota in general?
Do you practice?
Jason Zucker then. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So I didn't get into this practice at all. So anyways, New Hope, right? I get there, we get prepared. It's Jason Zucker, a couple of University Bemidji kids, a couple of National Development Team kids, and then some other semi-pro guys. 10 minutes before the skate starts, everyone's in the locker room. We're having our little pep talk, and then we're out on the ice, and you're going 10 tenths. They're warming themselves up and warming the goalies up, and these shots are coming in at 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is something I've never seen before. And at this point, a lot of goalies use this technique called box control, where because you have such a small period of time to react to a shot coming in at 80 miles an hour, you have to understand what parts of your kit are blocking what parts of the net. So by having a proper depth and advancing out of the net, you're blocking more of the net with less gear, if that makes sense. So it's really this dance, because you're coming out, you're challenging a shot, you're making a save, you're reacting to the next thing, and it's nonstop action for 90 minutes. And wow, now that I think about that would gas me, because I've only been skating like once or twice a week these days. But back then I was playing goalie, honestly, consistently 2 to 4 nights every week. And it was just, I was young, I was taking my diet seriously, I was hydrating well, I was taking my sleep and recovery seriously, and doing stretching, all to prepare me for this one just game. I was just preparing myself for the next game, is how I saw it. But those little increments built me up to a place where, oh my gosh, I'm good enough that I can hang with Jason Zucker. And that was really fun. The craziest part was his backhand. He can throw the puck off his backhand on a wire out of nowhere. And it's when you replay it in your mind, you're like, I have hands. I have hands, but I can't do that. It's humbling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. You like Jason Zucker. I know it's a good leader for Minnesota. I know it's a steal in the 2008 NHL draft. It was a draft in the 6th round. And
wow.
Yeah. In 2000.
I didn't know he was a 2008 draft year. That's so cool. Yes, that was right around when my dad had season tickets at the old XL Energy Center, soon to be the Grand Casino Arena. That's what I have to say about that.
I'm going to go for the next question.
Okay. Let's hear it.
You play with the 2 amateurs league. Do you have a preference, or you like the two
So there's, how can I put this? In Minnesota, there's a lot of very competitive people. And then there's some people that take competition a little too far.
Okay.
And unfortunately, a lot of those people still play hockey because they love the game, right? Mm-hmm. But, up in Blaine, there's this one league called the Minnesota Wild Adult Hockey League. And this is one of I'd say closer to like a chippy Canadian beer league, if that makes sense. they've got tiers all the way from D, D1, D2, D3 to C1, C2, C3, all the way up to A. And, you know, some of these A level teams are sponsored. But there's something in the water there at that rink that all the people that end up in that league are just willing to go a little too far to make a play or to make a goal happen. And just from a risk analysis perspective, my first game I was there, I got someone diving into my crease. So after that I said, okay, I'm not playing in that league, because I'd heard about just how chippy it can be, and my first time there that happened. Well, so I stayed clear of that league. My first league I actually joined was called Hockey Finder. Their slogan is fun, friendly, social, and the league colors are the North Stars Kelly Green and Sport Gold. And as someone with a little bit of nostalgia for the North Stars, I really appreciated that. So I joined that league, and it was exactly what they claim it to be. You can't really build a team in the league. There's depending on how many players, there'll be 4 to 6 team captains that will draft teams. The players can select to have a buddy, but that's it. So if you want to play with your buddy, you can end up on the same team season after season, but you're going to get shuffled around and play with new players, meet new people, make new friends. But it also discourages people from being jerks, because if you slash someone, you could end up on their team next season. So it's nice too, because everyone will hang out and chat afterwards. It's always interesting to dissect the games that way. And just as a goalie, it's nice because you get a lot of compliments, like, "Oh, dude, you made that great save that with your glove," or "Oh, that toe save was sick," and just getting to hear about what other guys were thinking during the game, like, "Oh, did the ref blow that call, or was that this, that, or the other thing?" You know, just as it is in any other league, but I thought it was really special when I first joined the league. So I really held Hockey Finder in high regard because of that. Also, excuse me. I think that's just another thing in Minnesota, is outside of the Minnesota Wild Adult League, a lot of hockey players are really nice, really friendly, and understand that we all have to work the next day, and we shouldn't be out here trying to kill each other, you know? So, that's why I really like Hockey Finder. The other league, Adult Hockey Association, it's kind of like the middle ground between the two. You get to build teams with a full roster. You play more games in a season. You get scorekeepers with shot tracking, and 90-minute games compared to Hockey Finder's 60s. So you actually get 3 17-minute stop time periods in AHA, whereas Hockey Finder, it's 17 minutes run time, 3 periods. So, from an athleticism perspective, it's a lot more intense. That helped me to get better. I really liked the A division at the AHA level too, because it was a lot of very skilled individuals, former D1 or high school players there's just no shortage of hockey talent here in Minnesota. Like, it's literally the world's best gym membership, because all I do is you buy the goalie pads, and you go to the Facebook group Twin Cities Goalies, and they'll say, hey, I need a goalie tonight, can someone sub in? And if you're on there, you say sure, and you're playing for free. So that's honestly how I got as much ice time as I could, was because I took that effort to search out games or leagues that needed a goalie sub. You know, I wasn't afraid to sub up a couple levels. I wasn't afraid to sub down a couple levels, you know, as long as the teams were understanding of my skill level and where I would be, you know, along my journey. It was a really welcoming experience for the most part.
You played in roller hockey, street hockey, and ice hockey. Do you have a preference, or you like them?
I forgot to mention, I've also played floorball.
Oh, cool.
Which is, if you don't know, it's like hockey, but you're using a wiffle ball and I've got my stick over there. I'll go show you. Aha.
Oh, cool. It's cool.
So yes, this is a floorball stick. There's a league that plays at the local library. It's a $2 entrance fee, which I think is incredible in this day and age. And there's a lot of really dedicated floorball enthusiasts here in St. Paul. We put a team together to represent Minnesota in the U.S. Floorball Championships last year in Chicago. And we took, I think, 5th place. Yeah. What was crazy is I was playing defense the whole tournament, but our goalie took a red card in the 3rd game, which meant, who's gonna fill in? Who's gonna play against Dallas? Alex, you gotta fill in. Okay, fine. So I bought a couple pieces of floorball goalie gear to try that out, and the rest I borrowed from Eric. Before the game, I just turned on the Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls intro theme song, the and I started doing my warm-ups, and I'm like, okay, let's win this game. And against I think it was Austin, Texas 2 team, I got a shutout in my very first floorball game at a national stage. So that was such a cool experience. That's one of the highlights of being a goalie in my life so far. But sorry to just derail your question. You were asking me about.
Do you have a preference with street hockey, roller hockey, or ice hockey, or you like them?
That's a real interesting question.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it, to be honest. Which one I like more? They've all got their pros and cons. I'd say roller hockey goalie is my least favorite, because you have all the weight of ice hockey goalie, but you don't have the cooling properties of ice. So heat stroke is a very real possibility at all times. Ice hockey is second hardest, but also the most enjoyable, just because it has, I think, the highest skill cap. There's so much time and dedication that skaters sink into being good at hockey, so thusly there's more that you have to do as a goalie to match that skill. So, it's that give and take, you know. And then the one time I did play floorball goalie, I got a shutout. So I think I have to say that's my favorite now. I really want to get back into that. No, it's ice hockey. My ultimate goal someday is to be either a practice goalie or an emergency backup goalie with the Wild organization.
Oh, cool.
But I still need to get my cardio back into shape. First things first, and a new helmet. My goalie helmet right now is too flimsy. It should not be facing NHL shots. Ugh.
Yeah. One day they can happen. We see David Ayers with the Carolina Hurricane. Scott Foster with Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. I've been in contact with two of the guys that have practiced with or have been emergency backup goalies for the Wild. And they've asked me, like, hey, can you fill in this night or can you fill in that night? But I haven't actually gotten to, like, hang out with them, get to know the guys, and, like, do the networking stuff. So it'll happen eventually. I'm just waiting for it to occur organically.
Yeah. You are a referee. Do you have a preference with referee or goaltending?
1 second.
Okay.
We just got a call from Toronto.
Okay.
That is a good goal. So what I'll say is I feel a lot safer as a referee. I'm not, throwing my body on the line to stop a flying rubber bullet. It is cool just getting to see players grow and get better, because you start out, you referee little kiddos doing 6, 7, 8-year-old games, and it's pure chaos, but you're just there to help them have fun, and they're there to have fun, and so it's a necessary part of the game to help the game grow. Everyone I've talked to says we need more referees, so I took that personally. I was like, okay, let's try this out. And I got my USA Level 1 certification, my Level 2 certification. I was just able to sign up for the last class for the USA Hockey Level 3 certification, but it was all the way up in the northernmost point of Minnesota, Baudette, Minnesota. And so we booked an Airbnb, we drove 6.5 hours north, and we get to the rink there, and the guy says, well, you all know how to skate, right? We're just going to skip the skating portion of the seminar and just go through the slideshow. You're going to tell us if this is what you do or this is what you don't do, and we're going to send you on your way. And it was like 3 high school kids and 3 high school kids that had taken penalties, and they were there because they needed to get a refresher on the rules. And then it was like me and one other guy. I was kind of excited to actually skate on that rink, though. I mean, I'd driven 6.5 hours. I was like, oh man, I really wanted to go skating. But the that evening, the lake just north of Baudette, Zippel Bay State Park, had frozen over. And it was at that perfect thickness of ice where it's got those springy noises, or it's like bing, 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 as you're skating across it. Oh, it's the coolest sound in the world. But you got to be careful if you're doing that. Just make sure you have friends and family or someone nearby to rescue you in case you fall in the lake, because you got to have kind of thin ice for that to happen. Again, leave it to the professionals.
Yeah, it's good for referee, but I know it's very tough to be a ref because the fans, when you make a call, the fans scream on you, the players scream on you. It's very tough, and it's a job we needed when in hockey, because when we have no referee, it's no hockey game.
True. This is so true. Yeah. As a referee, you have to be a great mediator. You have to be able to listen intensely, and you have to let people state their case, because if people feel like they're not being listened to or being treated fairly, then that's what leads to these outbursts of anger. So it's a fun little dance that you're making with the players as these plays develop to try and de-escalate these situations. Like, oh, this guy snowed our goalie. Well, I'm going to skate in between these players and throw my arms in the middle of them and wiggle my fingers. And you can't get mad. You can't get mad when my arms are... Well, you can't throw a punch at someone when my arms are in the way, right? So it's a lot of fun getting to de-escalate these situations, and I've got to say I've gotten really good at being able to throw a puck perfectly level and flat on the ice so it goes clap every single time. That's one thing they drill into you in the seminars, is make sure you're dropping the puck flat. It doesn't matter. They just teach out and down, and if you're thinking of throwing the puck flat on the ice, it'll land flat. So, as with all things, time, dedication, and practice, you'll get better with them. I'm still a very unseasoned junior referee. I don't understand the rules of hockey like a lot of people do that have been skating since they were 4. But it's just cool to be here and surrounded by all these other people with all these unique stories.
Ah, cool. Which NHL goaltender you compare?
So, if you want to actually do analysis of some of my old goaltending, I've got a YouTube channel called Behind the Net, but I haven't posted there in a couple of years. I really did enjoy doing film analysis for a while there to get better at playing goalie. So I've been told that I play similar to the new goaltending phenom here in Minnesota, Wallstedt, Jesper Wallstedt.
Oh, cool.
I'm a quarter Swedish myself, so I've got that going for me. But also just with the way I challenge plays, with the way I hold my gloves, with the way I track, I can kind of see it too. So it's the comparable. If I could say I was playing like Jesper Wallstedt, that would be a compliment. Yeah.
In NHL, which player in Minnesota Wild you like the most?
Oh man, I think. Oh, that's so tough because the answer has to be Mikko Koivu as the
Okay.
teams get right, he's the most likable. But Ilya Brizgalov, I think, is the goofiest goalie.
Okay.
And he's got the best personality of any player who's ever been on the Wild. Sorry to the other Wild players, but it's only game. Why you have to be mad? And like, if I had to say a third place runner up, it would be Jason Zucker, just because he's a very inspirational guy. He the stuff that he's done for the community here in Minnesota has inspired me to work harder. So that's close third there.
Oh, good. Do you have a second favorite team, or it's only Minnesota your favorite team?
So, I feel dirty saying this, but in the playoffs last season, I was rooting for Edmonton. I wanted
let's go!
I wanted to see McDavid win.
Yeah, it's my favorite team.
However, I also lived in Seattle for 4 years when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So that's like a definite soft spot for the Kraken. I'd love to see them succeed as a team. I think their new glow-in-the-dark jerseys are really sick, too. If you haven't seen those, check them out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, McDavid, Draisaitl. It's just sad that they didn't have a goaltender like me to save. No, oh my gosh, that's the worst thing I could say. But no, it was amazing seeing Stuart Skinner and Calvin. Was it Calvin Pickard as your backup? It was seeing them battle through all the adversity they were getting for their performances and still coming out night after night and competing at a very high level. Like that was really fun. It's also tough because they don't have good defense in front of them. Subjectively, I'm not saying Edmonton's got bad defense. They made it to the NHL finals. But, anyways, I don't want to make myself look like a fool by talking about things I don't truly understand.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a really good season this past year. For a brief moment there, Edmonton was my second team.
Okay, good. It's my favorite team. I know I'm from Quebec, but my favorite team it's Edmonton. I know last year in 2024, I was very sad to see Edmonton losing in the final against Florida. This year too, I was very sad to say this, to see this. But I know Edmonton was a good team, but the goaltending questionable because I know Stuart Skinner. Some games is good, some games is bad. Pickard is a good backup, but it's questionable in the goaltending.
I will say, as a goaltender, it's really interesting when I'll have different takes than the fans or the commentators on a play on like, oh, should this goalie have had this save or should this goalie have made this save? Because I'd see very commonly in like the NHL Discord or the Minnesota Wild Discord people talking about goaltending like they've been goaltenders themselves, and it's just like it's really obvious. You don't know how easy or difficult it is to do that exact thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of the most difficult positions in all of sports, in my opinion.
Yep. You're right because beginning a goaltender, it's very hard, and you cannot beginning goaltending at 18 years old. For beginning in NHL, it's maybe 25, 24 if you're good, but 25 it's
kind of late.
Yep.
I'm not here to judge what age he's at when he enters the NHL. The fact is, he met the criteria. The team said he's good enough, and they signed him to a deal. So that's the deal they had to live with, and it just that's the way the cookie crumbled. I still think, if you play that series 100 different times, I think it can go. I still think it would go Florida's way 60 of them. It was a tight series, but I don't think Edmonton really was quite there.
With the next question, which NHL team do you think they will win the Stanley Cup in 2026?
Ooh. I'd be remiss not to consider the Panthers. They haven't lost any big keys, I think. So they're going to be a scary team. They've got one of the best goaltenders in Sergei Bobrovsky. Sasha Barkov is nuts. Matthew Tkachuk, incredible leader. It's just such a cool team. Shout out to my buddy Mikey. Mikey loves the Panthers, and so
okay.
I was rooting for the Panthers to win the Stanley Cup last time for Mikey. So that they were my second team last season, but this time I wanted the underdogs to win it.
Yeah.
Anyways, next question.
Okay. Do you have a funny moment in hockey?
A funny moment?
Yep.
It happens all the time. Like, I'm just always smiling the most when there's this Thursday night league in St. Paul, and every once in a while I'll get to fill in as a goalie or referee there, and just all the guys there have been playing together for like 10, 15 years. They're all super tight and just know how to chirp each other really well. And so it's a ton of fun being a part of that league. And a lot of funny stuff happens there that I can't talk about. But let's just say that's how I would describe hockey as being funny.
Yeah. What do you tell to Alex Malm years ago?
Ooh. Don't stop studying.
Yeah.
Always, keep sharpening that axe. That's some of the best advice I've been given.
Yeah. What is your future project?
Well, as someone who's a Christian, my goal is to study the Bible every day and to be a better person. So that's my future project.
Yeah. That's. I have no question.
I could talk about IT and cybersecurity ideas for businesses that I could, or that for businesses that I would want to build someday. But I've gotten to do some really cool work with Cybersecurity Summit Minnesota. I'll talk about that. In elementary and middle school, I got to go to a school called Capitol Hill Gifted and Talented Magnet School, which brings in some of the brightest young minds in the St. Paul area to one school. And so when I was there, I always fondly remembered the older students coming back and saying hi to their teacher, thanking them for being so supportive through all the years and whatnot. And it came to me. I was like, oh, I really want to see if I can get Capitol Hill involved with Cybersecurity Summit because they're doing a Capture the Flag event this year. So actually, one of my plans this week is to call my old math teacher, Mr. Ford, and we're going to set up some after-school club to teach kids cybersecurity, I think. That's the idea.
Yeah. What is your best moment in hockey?
Best moment in hockey? I think it was that 7-1 comeback win in the shootout. That was so cool.
Yeah.
I really want to say getting to play with Jason Zucker though, because that was a whole hour of competition with some of the best hockey players in the world. So, like I said, if I could be a practice goalie for a pro squad, that would be a really cool gig, I think.
Oh, okay, good. I'm going to I tell all the question. Thanks, Alex, to getting in my podcast.
Oh, of course. Thanks for the invite. I wish you much success and that you're able to learn many more things from your further interviews.
Good. It was very interesting, and I wish the success on you. And maybe one day, emergency goaltending with Minnesota.
Yeah. If it happens, make sure you get the newspaper clipping.
Yeah. Good. So.
Awesome. All right.
Bye
Have a
good night.
Good night. Yeah. Take care.
Yeah. Same. C'était déjà la fin du 26e épisode, donc ça a été en anglais. Donc, un premier pour la 5e saison et un troisième dans le match ultime. Donc, pour le prochain invité, on va recevoir Alexandre Joannette pour le 27e épisode. Donc, je vais vous dire ce qui est en détail aussi. Sans oublier que demain, on va faire un Start Bench Cut, deuxième épisode. Donc, ça va être un Start Bench Cut, soit édition capitaine ou peut-être édition NBA. Donc, le gars avec qui je vais faire mon Start Bench Cut c'est un gars avec qui je fais le podcast, le match ultime. Donc, possible que ça soit dans la NBA. Donc, on va regarder là-dessus. Donc, pour le 27e épisode, ça va être avec... comme je viens de mentionner, avec Alexandre Joannette, ça va être lundi, le 15 septembre à 19h. Fait que, pour ceux qui veulent écouter cet épisode-là, donc à ne pas manquer. Donc, pour ceux qui ont aimé cet épisode-là, n'hésitez pas à liker et à vous abonner. Et on va vous dire à demain pour le deuxième épisode du Start Bench Cut. Bye bye!